Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we're locked in. This is Power Book 4 episode 7, and don't worry about the face. This is my Kanye through the wire moment right here. We going in tonight. Now what we did see last week, we seen that the main focus was really on getting Dahlia up and running. We know that JP's son, D-Mac, he was actually spying on Tommy, and he decided not to follow through with that because he sees his dad has Tommy in the house. Now, I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm interested in seeing that storyline. We also know that Tommy and Claudia, they've been burying bodies. That's what they've been on all week. But before we jump into this episode, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you'll be a part of it. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, we moving forward. We got to put some product in the street. We got the chemist on our side, but we haven't cooked up any batches. So that was the whole issue between Claudia and Mai. So hopefully we can start getting some of the work in the streets and we can make it happen. We also know that Walter, he got into it with the Serbs. So let's jump into it. This is Power Book 4, episode 7. Now we starting the episode off in the clubs. We got Liliana going out there. She's trying to, build up a buzz for this new product on the street. And of course, she's doing it the same way that Claudia got Tommy. She's in here and she's talking to the people and pretty much telling them there's something new on the way. Trust me, it's worth it. Puts it on her lips. She kisses the guy, and you already know how that Dahlia, how you doing. Ooh wee. So at least now it's in the clubs and people know about it. Now you see all the young ladies putting it on their lips, going over to gentlemen, seducting them. All the guys are like, man, this is an attractive chick, but what is this that she got on her lips? This thing is taking me to another level. Tommy and Claudia are trying to come up with a marketing scheme for what they're going to do with Dahlia. Now you got to remember, there's no product out in the street, so right now they're just building a buzz. And what Claudia wants to do, she wants to keep pumping out what they have already. Now Tommy is saying that's fine, but it costs too much, so only a selective amount of people are going to be able to do it. She's talking about we need to be expanded. He's saying, nah, what we're doing right now is what they call the supply and demand. There's a very limited amount of supply until they start, building more, but then that demand is going to be there. So when they do their official rollout and they cut it down a little bit so more people can afford it, then they're going to expand and everyone's going to be able to get a piece of this. Now, Claudia, she hasn't been in the game, so she doesn't know anything about this. Tommy does. Back at the barbershop, we get introduced to Blackston. Now, he's doing a little bit of shots because he used to be on the shot. So he said, yeah, I didn't think I'd return to the shy Chicago, but when Chicago calls, you return. And he said he's glad to see Jenard and Diamond back on their game, and he's ready to pick up where they left off, meaning y'all got some work, let me know what's happening. We trying to get in the game. CBI is trying to expand now that they got that pipeline. D-Mac and his homie Marshall come in, and they're talking about they got a business proposition. And what they're trying to do is they got a homeboy out there in Gary, Indiana. And Gary, Indiana is really a little bit of a hub. And what they want to be is a courier, meaning they'll take the work from Chicago out to Gary and give it to one of their cousins, and then they'll move that work. Now, Diamond, he's listening to it like, nah, I don't like it. But what D-Mac does say is since they're minors, they'll just get juvenile time. And of course, once they turn 18, it'll be off of their record. Now, Jenard, he's like, damn, I'm messing with that. That sounds legit. It's minimum risk. The kids go out there. If they get caught, who cares? They get out of jail in a year. Hey, sounds like a win-win to me. Since D-Mac gave back that $5,000, Jenard is saying, this is your chance to come up big, little bro. But you got to earn my trust. You got to earn my respect back because last time you screwed me over. So you got to tell me exactly where that white boy Tommy is located. So D-Mac, he's listening. He's like, damn, this is an opportunity for me to blow up in the dope game. I might have to do this. And Jenard wants to know where Tommy is because he wants to kill him tonight. Not tomorrow, tonight. Well, we finally figure out what's wrong with Walter. He has lung cancer and he's sitting in there and he's reading the little treatment programs and he tears it up, throws it in the fire. Paulie comes in just to check on Walter and see what's wrong. And now Walter says, hey, we may have a problem with the Serbs. And Paulie's thinking, why? We weren't at war with them. But what does Walter say? They took a fucking shot at my son. He couldn't let that slide. And Paulie's even telling him, hey, we aren't that strong to be going with the Serbs. You just opened up the hell gates. Walter tells him, good, I'm the devil. This man Walter does not care. He walked up in there, laid 3 of them down. He's ready for whatever. Vic over here laying the rock bottom down on Gloria. He wakes up talking about, you want to go get some food? We need to get there, it'll be a line. But then he sees a little notepad and Gloria left a message. I went away for a while. We'll never get up from up under your family. He's like, man, what? So he didn't see this when they woke up. The bed is right here. So they're in like a studio. Like you can look around the room and tell that she isn't in the house. We got the Avengers together. Tommy, Liliana, and Claudia and the chemist. And Tommy is still trying to bring that price down so it's affordable for everyone. If everyone can buy it, then you'll be able to sell more. But with that high of a price tag, they can't compete with coke, heroin, the pills. Now the chemist is saying, I know my vote doesn't count. And Tommy's like, yeah, it doesn't. And she's talking about, if we start breaking out the molecular compounds of it, then the integrity of, we don't care. It's still going to be called Dahlia because no one knows what this drug is but us. And even Liliana, she knows how the dope game is. So she's with Tommy saying, look, we bring that price down, we can control the city because everyone's going to want it. The chemist over here, girl, you better get to work. This man Tommy kidnapped you with a gun. Your vote does not mean anything. If they tell you to break it down and it messes up, who cares? They told you to do it, but you're still alive and you're still making money. Now, of course, we already know Jenard had a plan to split up CBI, half come with him, half stick with his brother Diamond. Now, they're talking about making that move out to Gary, Indiana still because, hey, if we can branch out and make more money, then it's lovely. Now, you hear D-Mac and Marshall talking about the guy out there. He got, messed up in the war when really he just slipped on some ice in basic training. Now, Blackston, he's saying, what about if Diamond finds out? And Jenard saying he's not. He's comfortable with what he has going on right now. So we need to make that move out there. And plus, this is going to set us up and put us in a position that we can make some of our own bread. Liliana's in here with Dr. Williams. And she's talking about, man, that product you got, I couldn't break that down. Well, of course you weren't going to be able to break it down inside the house with regular chemicals that you got from CVS. But she's in here and the chemist is saying, I got to go to work. Liliana's saying, okay, give me the phone. So what she does is call and act like she's the chemist doctor and saying, oh, Richard, she's not going to make it into work. So don't worry about her coming in. She might be out for an extended amount of time. So Liliana is putting her to work because that's her job. Make sure that the chemist is working. Tommy handles all the marketing and business on the outside. Now we got the doctor. She's off work for a little bit so she can work on this product. But she's telling Liliana, I got a date to go to. It's the third date. She's about to get this man some or this woman some. But Liliana's talking about, oh, okay, but don't wear that. Looks like getting a bank loan. But she's telling Tommy when he comes in, because he's about that business, get back to work, cut it down, make it cheaper. And she's saying that may be dangerous. Somebody may rip us off, try to make the same product, and then the whole name will get messed up. Just like we had Blue Magic with Frank Lucas, and then you had Red Magic, using the same name but a lesser quality of the product. Tommy said, don't worry about that. You the doctor, figure it out. Tommy and JP just the problem. They're walking, and you remember they had a big argument because Tommy didn't want to give JP no work. I wouldn't either. But they end up apologizing about it. And Tommy is saying my delivery was probably a little off. I could have changed that up. Now we know JP doesn't want any hands out. And he's saying, I'm not going to be crossing the border or anything. I just want to do some little stuff. And Tommy's saying, hey, bro, this is the dope game. Nothing is little about this. Everything can lead up to huge consequences and repercussions if anything goes wrong. The littlest thing could throw everything all off. So at least they settled that. Tommy tells him, F you. JP says, apology accepted. Now, JP wants to talk to their mom, Kate. And of course, Tommy's like, nah, man, she's dead. She buried Miriam 6 years ago. She didn't want nothing to do with her. She didn't really love me. And JP's saying, we're family. That's what we're supposed to do. Forgive. And I don't even have the whole story. I just have your side. And Tommy's saying, look, she's just been lying. There's no point in talking to her. But JP says, look, as soon as I was born, she left me. Why do you hate her so much? And what does he say? She loved the ghost more than she loved him. Because he be talking about James St. Patrick. She lied all this time about JP. Man, Tommy is really going through it. Now, this is the clip that they released early, and this is between the Flynn family. And this is Claudia talking about she wanted to actually be in the game. And Walter keeps telling her, what are you going to do? Get yourself shot? She's like, if you give me a gun, I can even up the odds. Now, what we know is that Claudia is actually in the game. We seen her get rid of Ma. We seen her get rid of old boy Reggie last week. So she's really out here doing things. So to her dad, he may not know this, but Claudia is a bad girl right now. Now we see Vic, he doesn't really say too much because you know how he is. He wants to do what his dad wants for him, but he also wants to do what he has with Gloria, even though she won't stick around long enough. And this gets Claudia upset because she's really out here. She's doing things. Walter told her he don't think she got the strength to pull that trigger on nobody, but we seen it. She is. She's ready for war if she can get in the game, but it's best if she just stays back a little bit and lets Tommy handle things. We know D-Mac's been following Tommy. He runs up on Tommy. You know, he always ready. Tommy had that gun like, hey, what are you running up on me for? He's like, hey, bro, I ain't got nothing on me, man. I just want to tell you, hey, be on your P's and Q's. Don't get caught lacking because somebody out here looking for you. And if they catch you slipping, it's over with. Now, Tommy wants to know why exactly are you helping me and who sent you? Because we seen D-Mac at the barbershop. So Tommy knows of him. He doesn't really know too much about him. But D-Mac says, I'm just helping you because I have my reasons. And that's because we seen Tommy with JP last week. But D-Mac doesn't tell who's looking for him. All he doing is warning Tommy. Be on the lookout because people are after you. He tells D-Mac, get the fuck out of here. D-Mac's like, all right, man, don't mention it. He said, I just did. Come on, D-Mac, get the hell up out of here and get you a gun, man. Don't be walking around these streets with no gun. Tommy almost lit you up like he did your daddy. Claudia and Liliana, they got the girls together. But before this takes place, Claudia wants to know, you know Tommy better than everybody. Are you having sex with him? Now, this is showing us that Claudia may be a little bit interested in Tommy. But Liliana's like, nah, I ain't doing nothing with Tommy. These ladies were in their preliminary trials in the opening scene at the club. So what they're here for is to eventually move forward and work. Now, they signed a verbal NDA, non-disclosure agreement, where you can't talk about anything and you guys will never mention that you were here. And they're only going to get enough drugs to put on their lips. So what Liliana and Claudia is doing is basically schooling them. We're going to have a list of people you need to target. If someone's babysitting a drink in the corner, they're police. And if you get arrested, here, call this number right here, Kipling, and wait for him to show up. So they got this, hey, we got it laid out for you. All we need is the ladies to follow it. Now, the girls, they ain't here. They just sitting around. You hear Claudia saying, I need you to get that red-haired girl, Sophie, to go after my brother, Vic. Now, Liliana hears this. And I don't know what Claudia's plan is, but hopefully it isn't setting up Vic. Maybe it's just trying to get Vic on board. Now, Doc is trying to figure out how they can change this compound and still let it hit the way it hits. And they're in here, they're discussing things. But Tommy comes in. He's like, hey, whatever the hell y'all got going on, forget that. Take the glow out of the drug. She's saying that's what makes it special. He said, no, the high is. Gimmicks do run out. You see this all the time. Whenever someone has a gimmick, it's only going to last for so long. And he's saying, get rid of that, figure it out, and get prepared for your date tonight. Now, you heard him tell Liliana earlier, you're going to have to go out too, because we're going to need you to watch her to make sure she ain't out here doing things. Tommy and Liliana, they out here, they're working, trying to figure out everything that they're going to do. Now, she is saying that the chemist, she's tired. She's been working in this lab for a long, long time. Tommy doesn't care about that. That's what we're paying you for. This is your job. But she's telling Tommy, if we keep pushing this hard, we're going to actually mess things up. Meaning we need to dial it back a little bit, figure out exactly what we're going to do, and get us a schedule that we can manage properly. Because when you're overworking people, you may forget something. You're under a lot of stress. But Tommy, he starts going into his spiel because he has a lot on his mind, and he brings up what's going on with Kate, JP, and all the thoughts that he's having about him and Ghost back in the day. Liliana does let Tommy know that, hey, I heard Claudia trying to do something with Vic, and Tommy's like, hey, when you find out, let me know. But Doc comes out and she puts on Liliana's clothes. I'm like, okay, Liliana been around the city in this, but okay, look good on you, girl. But she talking about we. Yeah, Liliana's coming with you on this date. We got to make sure you ain't running your mouth, sweetheart. Vic in the middle of the club. He looking at his phone, going out bad. Gloria, hey, will you call me back? Can we talk? Gloria, please call me. Hey, bro, she said she's gone, man. Claudia got her plan in effect. She texts the girl Sophie, go get him. Uh-oh, what are we about to do to Vic? We at the strip club. We got money over here. The girls is everywhere. We got young Marshall in here. He's like, dang, the girls are eyeballing me. Now, Jenard wants to know, where's D-Mac at? He said, man, I don't know. He too busy. So while we forgetting about D-Mac, let's try to holler at some of these women, Jenard. Let's make it happen. Liliana's out on a date with the doctor. She's her second cousin from Miami. She's up here. The dude was looking like, man, what? And then over in the strip club, we got Jenard and them and Lil Marshall. First thing he want to do is pull the phone out. You see Blacks and Jenard like, hey, yo, bro, we don't want to be on camera. But one of the workers for Claudia shows up and they all like, ooh, who is this chick? So they might get their first taste of this Dahlia. Jenard over here trying to get his one-on-one and gave Blackson a little bit of money. Hey, get this little dude out of here. Go buy up the bar. Check on me in 5 minutes. Now, you got to keep one of the security dudes behind you just in case, because strip clubs can get wild. Rule number 1, never, ever, ever kiss a girl in the club. Rule number 2, if you see her put something on her mouth, definitely don't kiss her. And go back to rule number 1, never kiss a girl in the club. Jenard just met this chick, she put it on her lips, and they get to kissing, so you already know what's about to happen to this man. Miss Adrian is around, and we know that we found out she's actually a journalist. So we know what her motive is, to try to get a story about Diamond and CBI. Now, she's been around, they've done their thing, they had breakfast a couple times, and now they're at the barbershop, and she's saying, you're an open book. He's like, yeah, for the most part. She's over here touching on everything. He's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm still trying to find that moment in my life, that special something. And of course, you know, she about to throw that thing on him in the barbershop. Now, Tommy and JP, they go out and they doing that brotherly thing. And you hear JP saying, hey, man, the club is the best place to wash some money, move some money around. Of course, that's what Jane St. Patrick was doing up there with Truth. But when they're in here, Tommy turns around and guess who he sees? He sees Vic in here getting kissed by some girl with glowing lips. Back in the lab, the chemist is in here trying to figure some things out. Now, Claudia, she asked Liliana, was it like this in New York? Was Tommy, you know, working like this and moving this way? And Liliana saying, yeah, he's one of the people that I know personally that stacked the most cash. Now, Tommy may do things his own way, but one thing about him, he's going to get the job done. Now, we come over here to the chemist and she thinks she has it. But when we go over here, it just starts to bubble up, starts to fume a little bit, and we're looking at it like, damn, this is not going to work. You don't want to kiss nobody with no smoky lips. They leaving the club. D-Mac comes up and steals on Marshall, hits him in the back of the head because they cut D-Mac out on it. Now, the reason Marshall cut him out is because he said he's soft. He didn't want to make a move on the jazz club. So everything that's going on in Gary, Indiana, that's Marshall's cousins anyway. So he told D-Mac, you ain't in on this. You hear Blackton talking about, hey man, put the gun up. He talking about, I got this. But it looks like these two ain't gonna be seeing eye to eye. And this might be the moment that D-Mac actually switches over to become working on Tommy's side. And Blackson's telling him, hey bro, you dumb. We downtown Chicago. Security right here, he ain't got no gun, but he seen a young dude with a gun. He just let them do whatever the hell he wanted to do. But you remember the girl that had that onion booty that made our boy Marshall cry? Yeah, well, she going home with our boy. He been in the episode for 1 episode and he already got the girl. Jenard went from indoors on Dahlia to outside in the Lamborghini truck on it. She like, I got something for you, baby. He sees this new drug. He like, damn, this is what we was on? Now he back here getting his freak on, but he's also thinking in his head, whatever this is, we need to get some of this. Now, if you remember, Walter told Vic to put 2 people on Claudia, follow her around and make sure that she's safe, especially with everything that's going on with the Serbs. Now they out here, one of them decides to use the bathroom. Tommy comes in and does Tommy things. He lays both of them down. These dudes weren't prepared at all. Now Tommy's upset because he's thinking these guys, they were sitting outside, they were hired by Claudia. So he comes up there and he says, you told me you wanted to separate what you're doing away from your family. She's like, that wasn't my people. And even if that wasn't your people, he brings up in the club, why are you going after Vic doing this? And she's saying, I just wanted Vic to know that the product was out there, but not that it was coming from me. Now Tommy has a plan. At the very beginning of the show, we seen what he wanted to do, how he wanted to expand. And now you're out here doing things like this. If Tommy has to second guess you, then all of this is over. He's just going to shut it down. And he told Claudia, your 2 workers for your daddy, they in the truck. They waiting to go to the woods, meaning you need to go bury him. I'm not helping you this time. Now, Adrian has to report back. And what they're saying is, look, You're doing a piece on Diamond, the head of CBI. Now, what if he can get back in the dope game, rise to the top, and we bring him back down and put him in prison? We can get the Polar Surprise. Now, Adrian, she's over here throwing that thing on him, so you can tell that she's a little bit connected with him, and she doesn't want to put him back in jail. She just wants to write a story, if that. Now, she's saying, hey, we can go put somebody else on this story if you want us to. And Adrian's like, no. I got it. Tommy has a lot on his plate. JP. We got to maintain what D-Mac just told us, that someone's out to kill us. Claudia's in the streets working, putting things on her brother. Her dad got people watching him. And now we got to get the chemist to break things down. And he's trying to tell Liliana, look, stay focused. I know she got it. She's close. But Liliana mentions she knows a lot of stuff, though, Tommy. That's the only thing. So we might have to keep her close. But then again, we might have to get rid of her. Jenard brings the drug back. He has Dahlia and he's like, bruh, let me tell you, this thing had me going all night, brother. We need to get this, and this is our rocket ship to the moon, baby. We could take over. But Diamond is thinking, I don't want to introduce a new drug, and then people start dying from it. We don't know the cut, and it puts me back in jail. Now, I can see both sides of it. Diamond is playing it smart. As a business decision, we don't know much about it. Yeah, it may be taken off, but what if we get a wrong batch? We don't know anything about it. Let's just stick to the SERB pipeline. Now, Jenard brings up, just because you getting you some cutty on the regular, now you want to start second guessing and don't want to expand. Now, Vic is sitting down with his pops, and his pops is saying, whatever you're thinking about, this bottle ain't going to help you out with it. You know, that little whiskey, that little scotch that we be drinking. But Vic, he's actually opening up to his dad, and he's telling him that I lost the best thing that was for me, chasing some pipeline dream of what you wanted and, you know, being traditional. Now, Gloria, she may not be blood, but we see that Vic loves her. So he's telling Walter, look, I did all of this for you, Dad. But in reality, I wanted Gloria. And then he gets up and leaves. And Walter, he's sitting there thinking, man, Paulie was right. You remember when Paulie said, hey, you got 2 kids, make the best of it. You know, see what they want to do and enjoy that with them. But now all of his kids, they about to start moving away from him. Diamond calls for a meeting with Tommy, and he wants to sit down. Now, you know you ain't supposed to order no coffee over here at this diner. And Tommy was like, let me get a coffee. He said, no. Rick just said no, and right off the bat. But Diamond is presenting Tommy with Dahlia, and he's asking, do you know anything about it? Tommy's like, nah, I don't know. How do you know that it's good? You tried it? And Diamond said, nah, but Jenard told me it was good. What you know about this, Tommy? And he knows Tommy isn't being upfront, but it has him thinking, if Tommy sold 10 bricks to me and he's still in Chicago, he has to have another play. Now, he can't connect Tommy to Dahlia right now, but you know Diamond's mind is racing. Jenard finally has the meeting with Buddy. This is the cousin in Gary, Indiana. Now, at first, you know, it didn't really seem like it was going to go down good. But he knows about CBI, and he's thinking, oh, CBI is expanding. And Jenard's saying, nah, this isn't CBI. This is just my thing. But what he does is he fronts him a pack up front. Like, here you go. That's the mission to get into the game. Now he looks at it and he's like, oh, okay, we can make this happen. So next time Jenard shows up, all we want to do is get the money and we get this business rolling. So Jenard and Buddy, hey, they got them a little connection. Chicago to Gary. All right, Tommy shows up. It looks like the chemist, Dr. Williams. She finally cracked the code. Now she's saying it's going to take all of MIT to try to figure out what it is. But before she leaves, Tommy says you can go home. But aren't you curious to see what it's like? Because it feels like it. It looks like it. But does it hit like it? And of course, you want her to take it, because if she messed it up and you put it in these streets, then yeah, it's going to come back on you. So let's see. If the chemist can take it and it hits, then we good to go. And it looks like it worked. Everybody took a hit of that. And they just get to laughing because they know that money is about to be rolling in. And you heard the doc. She said, hey, I'm going to be back tomorrow, because she knows, ooh, I just cracked the code. We about to get money. There you go, episode 7 of Power Book 4. Let me know what you think about this connection. Is potentially moving to Gary, Indiana a good look for Jenard? I mean, I know it's going to bring him in money, but what do you think that Diamond is going to do with this? And also, with D-Mac being X'd out of this deal, is he going to convert over to Tommy? Let me know what you guys think. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tune in Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for the live after show discussion of episode 7. I'm MoedotJ. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.